Well, NFL bettors, it is that time to lock and load for our futures. And I think there's great spots to kind of jump in on some possible Super Bowl winners, maybe with some hedging. This may be a little bit longer TikTok than normal. This is just going to be the episode 1 of the season win totals. I'm pretty much almost done breaking these down per team. I think the Browns actually have moved up to 5.5. You guys can see on the left the top 4 that are listed at 11.5. A lot of teams at 10.5. Some of those 10.5s are now down to 9.5. Some of the 9.5s are making their way up towards 10.5. Vice versa in this column over here as well. A lot of mediocre teams, not some of the craziest offseason moves, and some teams kind of upgrading. Especially a team like Denver did a lot of upgrading, top 10 in offensive and defensive line. I mean, Carolina even a little bit of upgrading. They did. They finished out the year 4-5 last year, but they still put up good numbers and competitive games against teams like the Eagles and the Chiefs to close out the season. And the Vikings, great stuff. But this is our episode 1 on TikTok here. Season win totals. I'm going to go over the number 1 team with the easiest schedule, and then I will do episode 2 based off the comments for what you guys would like to see, what team you guys would like to break down. This is just my thoughts and opinions on season win totals only. I will have everything wrapped up by next week for my package to be ready for all my NFL futures and early bets heading into the season. So I'm going to break it down for you guys. Today will be the 49ers. Now, if I get no comments on TikTok, which I know is pretty much impossible, tomorrow I will do the hardest schedule, which is the New York Giants, NFC East. They should probably lose every game in their conference. Let's break down the 49ers here, and let's get into it. So before I break down the full schedule here, this is the easiest scheduled as far as power rankings goes last year's. Based off last year's stuff, some kind of off-season reports. You guys can see here some of the teams on the schedule. Looks very, very easy for the 49ers. This will be their second slate, a quick little browse as you guys are looking over, kind of get your own thoughts on where they should be at. Now, with that being said, I do think that they have the easiest schedule. We're going to go over pretty much game by game. I have wins, what I think are guaranteed wins. I have losses, and I have possibles. You have teams like you're playing the Rams twice. I think they could win one, lose one. Falcons, Bucks, very losable games. But with that being said, they should make the playoffs. Now, the NFC's a little tight, right? We have the Lions, we have the Eagles, the Commanders making some noise as well. And that's really it. So they should be able to make the playoffs. Now, with that being said, prior to going over their win total, I think getting them at plus 2,000 is a fantastic hedge. There's other companies that you can sell your tickets on and all the crazy gambling realm nowadays, where if you have a plus 2,000 ticket, you might be able to cash out if you're on DraftKings, or looking to hedge, if the 49ers continue to move. I want to put it out there right now that if you are backing them at over 10.5 wins, I would advise with a little bit here, getting down on them at plus 2,000 to win the Super Bowl. Just because, like I said, once you get to the playoffs, you can hedge, you can make money, guaranteed money, heading into the postseason. Now, heading into the 2025 season, the power rankings for the Niners are right around 12 or 13 for offensive line. And I think that that's important to note because they're still led by Trent Williams, who's getting to be almost 40. And they do have some tough teams to play defensively, like the Chargers upgrade on defense, the Buccaneers, the Rams, just some pretty tough teams, to be quite frank with you. But I'm going to go over their schedule, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and analysis at the end, and I'm going to show you guys on DraftKings that they are listed at 10.5, but they're also kind of listed at 9.5 as well. So let's start off with game one. So week one for them is actually at Seattle. This is going to be a barn burner game, but I would have to give it to the more veteran team. Here, that being the 49ers. I don't think that this is even a probable game or a losable game. I am going to give the Niners the edge on game one. I think this line will be tight, but I'm still going to chalk them up as one win. Second game here, probably one of the worst teams in the league, the Saints. I think this is great for them to be on the road for both these games as well. I'm going to give them an automatic win on the Saints. They start off the year 2-0. Cardinals, what a more trickier team in the NFL than the Cardinals. Now, if this game was away, this game would have been probable. Their first home game, they're going to be rocking 3-0. Now, we go to the Jaguars. I am going to say 4-0, but here's what I will say about weeks 1 through 4. 4 wins, but I'm going to say 3 wins. Why? Because it's the NFL and anything can happen. They could go to Seattle and lose by 1 or 2. We've seen multiple games last year where, I don't know what happened at the quarterback position over the last couple years. First of all, I never thought Brock Purdy was good. They just picked up Mac Jones. But he's just a scared little kid, kind of. And if this Seattle team could somehow get to the noise into the San Fran's team, we seen them implode on themselves last year. They went from one of the strongest teams in the league 2 years ago to one of the worst teams in the league last year because they just self-implode. So let's go to the Jaguars here. Let's say 3 wins through week 4. Now we go to SoFi Stadium here. I'm considering this a loss. 3-2 for the 49ers. Now we're going to say away at Tampa Bay. I'm going to go 3-2 with a probable. I'm not going to give it to them yet, but I am going to say probable. Now, a game that I love in this position, especially if they lose against the Buccaneers, I'm going to hammer them against the Falcons because I think that just with the young talent that Atlanta has, they come into San Fran and they take care of business. Give me 4 guaranteed wins through what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Through 7 weeks, they will win 4 of these games. Speeding this up, Texans, no. Giants, yes. 5. Rams, I'm going to say yes. 6, because if they lose 1, they'll win 1. Cardinals away, 7, yes. Panthers, 8, yes. Browns, 9, yes. Titans, guaranteed, yes. Colts, guaranteed, 11. Bears, one of the bigger upgrades, but I'm still going to say yes because it's at home. The only thing that scares me, Bears made a huge push offensively on their line, which is exactly what they needed. And the 49ers line is they're good, but defensively, they're one of the worst lines in football. And then the last one down here, we have yes. Now, I've said yes to about 12 of these. Now, again, we're cutting the time here on TikTok, but through some of these probables, like I said, the Cardinals may be on the road, maybe the Bears. Going back to the week 1 here, maybe the Seattle game early, maybe the Buccaneers, and maybe the Falcons. Other than that, all these games are very winnable for San Francisco. Now, I think if you want to play it smart, you go to DraftKings and you look at their total at 9.5, and that's something we can absolutely hammer. Going to 11 with that many probables might be a stretch, but I think they are guaranteed 10. Fast and furious, Giants, Cardinals, Panthers, Cardinals, Jags, Cleveland, Titans, Indy, Chicago, Seattle, Saints, Seattle again. I mean, that's 12 with the probables being the Falcons, the Rams, the Bucks, and the Texans, which are all winnable. So that's my first episode for you guys. It's the easiest schedule, but I think going San Fran over 9.5 is something I am going to hammer. Yes, it's minus 170. but I do think it's something we should all be looking at, maybe alternating some of these win totals, maybe parlaying them together if that's possible. Let me know what you guys want to see for the next episode, but first episode, San Fran over 9.5 wins, lock.